football parliament. Here, Makatia by a number of us defend Nnamdi. Has decided to conduct his defense by himself. He has a right to do so. We respect that decision. And we wish him well going forward. That's all.
Thank you, sir. No reaction for you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Now, is that the court also is not willing to play with time because he was given 6 consecutive days from the 23rd of October 2025 to open his defense and defend himself before the Honorable Court, before this drama came in. At the point he was asking, even when he was listing his witnesses, asking for about 90 days and things like that. And then right now, it's a very sensitive matter. But what I can say, really, is that the processes are on. The court is ready. The court has offered him the option to defend himself. I think the court even offered to get him a counsel if he became uncomfortable with his counsel. But he also declined that he will represent himself. And no law says you cannot represent yourself. But to what extent can you defend yourself if you don't have the legal skills, so to say? And if you look at the array of professionals willing to defend him, these are sound,
learned,
yeah, you know. So we don't. And again, in another school of thought, they are thinking that okay, maybe because Nnamdi Kanu is, do I say politically exposed now, or advocacy-wise exposed, that he may be thinking that his supporters will, come out and begin to hit up the space, just like the end free Nnamdi Kanu protest in Abuja. But I doubt if that is going to work at this point in time, because if you have been monitoring the Nigerian space recently towards the 65th independence anniversary of the country,
Hello and welcome to my channel. This Nnamdi Kanu trial, it may divide Nigeria. Some people are saying the Biafra struggle did not divide Nigeria, but this particular one, if everything is to be followed, and we're also here to bring to you why Nnamdi Kanu refused or said no defense. What you're seeing is not just another court case. It's a story of a man and a nation divided by truth, politics, and power. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, says he will no longer defend himself in court. His words, he said, "I will not defend a charge built on illegality." What does this mean? Why did he take this bold decision? And how might, this particular thing change the future of Nigeria's unity and the justice system? Welcome to IGBO AREA TV, where we tell the story as it is. Nnamdi Kanu's journey to this moment has been long and painful. He was first arrested in 2015, released on bail in 2017. And then the military invaded his home. Operation Egweke, Operation Python Dance, that was it. Yeah. The military invaded his home. And years later, the military invaded his home. In 2021, he was abducted from Kenya and brought back to Nigeria. And, many international lawyers called that extraordinary rendition. Since then, his case has dragged on, full of adjournments, denials, and political tension. Now, after years in DSS custody, Kanu says he will not defend himself against charges he calls illegal and baseless. Why he said no defense? Why he said no defense? In law, when a defendant says no case, as a no case submission, it means they believe the prosecution has failed to prove any case against them. It's like believing there's nothing to answer. All of what the prosecution is trying to bring against us does not carry weight. It's flimsy for me. Simply put, Kanu's lawyers are saying, you have brought no evidence that links him to terrorism, no proof he committed any crime. All of what the Nigerian, the prosecution team did. So, Nnamdi Kanu's legal team argues that the entire trial is illegal because the manner of his arrest through abduction from Kenya, and remember a court has ruled on that before. So such abduction, kidnap, if you will, it violated international law and Nigeria's own constitution. So Kanu's position is clear. You cannot kidnap me, drag me into your court, and expect me to defend myself in a case that began with criminality. His silence in court is therefore not weakness, it is protest. And look at it properly. You cannot kidnap somebody. Or maybe, I don't know, how did Nnamdi Kanu came into Nigeria? What really happened? Did he fly? He had wings or what? Or he disappeared in Kenya and just appeared like that, like ghost does? So back to what we are saying. Many analysts say this no case submission could actually favor Nnamdi Kanu. First, if the judges agree that the prosecution has not shown solid evidence, the case could be struck out completely. That means freedom, at least in law. But the judge already said, after the final case submission, the judge said, there is something about it, you need to prepare your defense. So it has to go like this. Now, if the judge agrees that the prosecution has not shown solid evidence, the case could be struck out completely. But I don't think the judge has agreed that way. Now, secondly, the move, if the judge agrees, that's what we are saying, if he agrees that the prosecution has not provided enough evidence, the move now shifts the burden of proof back to the federal government. They must show beyond reasonable doubt that Kanu's speeches or actions directly caused violence, not just he led IPOB. They have to prove it. And the third one is that it sent a strong message internationally. Though this trial is not televised, but somehow the international community are aware of what is happening. So, it sends, like I said, it sends a strong message internationally. It says Nigeria justice system must not be used for political punishment. But on the other hand, it's a risky strategy, the case of no case submission. If the judge rules that there is a case to answer, then the trial will continue and Kanu will have to defend himself. Now, looking at it politically and from a human side, beyond the courtroom, the case of Nnamdi Kanu touches the heart of Nigeria's political wounds. To some, he's a freedom fighter standing for the rights of people forgotten by the state. To others, he's a lawbreaker who sweats fuel tension and violence through his Radio Biafra. But one truth stands. Millions of Nigerians, especially in the southeast, feel the government has treated him unfairly. Yes, more people from that area than the ones who oppose. And the longer this case drags on, the deeper the mistrust grows between government and citizens. So Kanu's no defense is just a legal move. It's a mirror showing the cracks in Nigeria's unity. But what is next? What is next? The next step lies in the hand of Justice Binta, sorry, I was saying Binta Nyako, not Binta Nyako, Justice James Omotosho. If the court upholds Kanu's submission, the case could end immediately. If it's not, he will face a full defense trial. But whatever the outcome, this case will define how Nigeria handles political dissent in the years ahead. Because you know that cases in court you refer to past cases. Mr. A versus the state, Mr. B versus the state, this and that. So it will be a point of reference. Whichever way it goes, it will be a point of reference in the future. So it will test whether the judiciary can stand above politics, fear, and intimidation. The world is watching. Nigerians are watching. And history will judge not just Nnamdi Kanu, but the system itself. So viewers, what do you think? Should a man defend himself in a trial born out of alleged illegality? Join the conversation, please. Subscribe, share, and stay with IGBO AREA TV, where truth meets the people. This video is for public education and analysis. IGBO AREA TV does not promote hate speech or separatism. All views expressed are for information and peace advocacy.